Many thanks for staying with us. Now, many individuals and relatives of the late former Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Pram, E.T Mensah, have praised his nationalistic approach to leadership after his passing. The statesman, who served in various public interest roles, including membership on the Council of State, passed away in October 2023. At his final funeral rites at the State House in Accra, attendees speaking to Citi News acknowledged his legacy of service, highlighting the traits they will fondly remember him for.
Now, Ghanaians from all walks of life have today converged on the forecourt of the State House in Accra to celebrate the life of a statesman, former Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Pram, former Minister of State, former Member of the Council of State, the Honorable late E.T, Doctor is in part of his name, Honorable Dr. Evangelist E.T Mensah, also known as E.T Mensah, who passed away in South Africa. The final funeral rites happening here at the State House in Accra. In attendance, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former President John Dramani Mahama, the Chief of Staff, Rema Osei-Opare, the former Ministers of State, both in the NDC and NPP government, as well as current Ministers of State, former Members of Parliament from the NDC side and the NPP side, and current Members of Parliament from both sides have also converged here. Various party supporters of the NDC and also persons from the security services, persons from all walks of life have converged on these grounds to celebrate the life of the Honorable E.T Mensah, who has cut across all political divides. So the Citi Newsroom is just celebrating and also covering this story for you, which we are bringing to you on the Citi Newsroom. E.T Mensah served as Member of Parliament for Ningo Pram Pram for many years before he was removed by Samonate George in a parliamentary primary that was very, very fiercely fought. Suffice it to say, he and the successor have not made up, we're told, until he died. His family is here, his first son Ben, his cousin is here, his widow is here, as well as his children, all of them here gathered to celebrate the life of their father, the husband, the uncle, the family member, the sportsman. Persons from the sporting fraternity have also gathered here to support, because if you recall, E.T Mensah was once a Minister for Youth and Sports. He has also served at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly when it was at Accra City Council before it was upgraded to an authority. Now Accra Metropolitan Assembly, he has served in that particular capacity, so we have officials from there. Also, he has served as ministries in the Mills government and also in the John Mahama government. John Mahama appointed he and two others, Alban Sumana Bagbin and Cletus Apula Avoka, as the so-called three wise men. Also something that critical as we remember the life of Honorable E.T Mensah, the Pram Pram Mugabe, as he was called in some circles before he left office as Member of Parliament for that constituency. Let me move in now and speak to a few people who have known E.T Mensah at close quarters, worked with him, related with him, to find out what the man E.T Mensah meant to them.
He was a great guy, a consummate politician, a visionary, loves God passionately, loves his children and grandchildren passionately, and we'll miss him a lot. We'll miss him.
Is there any fond memory you have of your dad? I don't know, when you were a boy or when you were growing up. I mean, when we see him from our side here, he's that man who is entering the gutter, doing the cleanup exercise, behaving like Jerry Rollins, all aggressive, working hard. That's what we see from our side. But at home, how did you call him? Did you call him Da? Or
I call him Paps.
Paps. Where is that idea from?
People
call him Washe.
Yeah, that's his nickname. That's his nickname. You don't often call him Washe unless you need something. And you want to soften his heart, then you use the word Washe. Then he calms down.
He was larger than life. And the family though might have gained some popularity in this E.T's brother or this E.T's son or sister. Directly, it also affected the family life. You know, when you are in politics, sometimes you are always away from the house. So sometimes your children don't see you as being part of them, though you are playing the role that you should play. That had an impact in his relations with his older children.
Do you think that he has been celebrated enough? Do you think he has been celebrated enough, having done the work he did for the country?
No, his party. It's his party who did not celebrate him. But because he's a Council of State member, that is why he is being celebrated today. Otherwise, since the funeral, we've not seen his party. We went to inform them, but we have not heard from them. So the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa, he's the one who put his feet down that he's a friend. When they were in Parliament, when they were in opposition, he used to give them jerseys to go and campaign in their constituencies. So he's a personal friend, and that is why he has gotten this state-sponsored funeral.
Just speaking to his family member there who said that because he went to contest for Council of State, the party seemed to have abandoned him. She was not happy with how he was treated in the latter days, having been a foundation member of the NDC. So you're saying that there was a tacit endorsement of his decision to run. And so
he actually requested my approval.
So the NDC is not angry with him?
As far as I'm concerned, NDC as a party is not angry with him at all. How can we be angry with a foundation member like E.T Mensah? And that is why, in fact, on his sick bed in South Africa, he sought to talk to me. But when the information came to me, I was in my farm at that time, so it was about 48 hours later. So when I reached Accra and I tried calling them, I'm sure he was not in a good shape to talk again, you know. So that tells you about E.T. So I have never seen E.T. The way some people think that because he contested and became a member of the Council of State under President Akufo-Addo, that alone makes him somebody who has abandoned the party. No, I disagree with them.
Sadly, today, we are gathered here to mourn our brother, friend, husband, father, and a great statesman, Mr. E.T Mensah, popularly known and called E.T Mensah, so that together we may acknowledge and share both our joy in the gift that his life was to us and the pain that his passing has.
He was a very, very smart politician. As I said, he started and played his role as a staunch NDC person. Then he served. Then he moved to a statesman. So very little of politicians move from being a hardcore politician to a statesman. But he transitioned through it so smoothly, and I think that is what I admire most about him. At a point in life when he thought he should play the role of a statesman, he did. At a point when he thought he had to fly his party colors only, he did. And I think that is something that is very unique about him.
He's a brother, and his passing was just a shock to many of us on the Council of State. Actually, to all of us on the Council of State, because we didn't see him being ill as such, you know. So just to see him pass away like that was such a shock to us.
E.T was a brother, a friend, a stalwart of the party, somebody who was influential in the Ghanaian state, someone who espoused the ideals of the revolution through PNDC, NDC. He had a personal relationship with us, and And I'm always proud of my Gadangbe brothers. He kept the faith right up to the end. We thank God for his life.
Let your spirit strengthen us, that death and everything else that threatens our peace.
He was more or less a leftist politician, but was ready to negotiate, was ready to discuss, was ready to compromise. The word is compromise. So I find him a good person for democracy.
You know, E.T. was most instrumental, together with me and others, in the epochal inauguration of the NDC in Cape Coast in 1982. And you know, that inauguration really established the NDC as a political force. Before then, it was the MPP elements, the Dankwa-Buja group, and then the CPP. But with the birth of the NDC, the CPP was eclipsed, and the NDC became the chief opponent of the Dankwa-Buja this thing. And we worked to build the party.
The Honorable E.T Mensah celebrated and final funeral rites performed by the Methodist Church, where he started worshiping since 1986. It has been a ceremony that has been well attended by all dignitaries that matter in this country, showing that E.T Mensah was simply a statesman. Reporting from the State House in Accra, my name is Umaru Sanda Amadou for Citi News.